There are many mysteries that have fascinated, puzzled, and wondered mankind throughout history. But perhaps one of the greatest of them centers on an object described in the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran, which has been searched for years and still has not been found: the mysterious Ark of the Covenant. Although this ancient ark was stored for many years in the Temple of Solomon in Jerusalem, its exact location is unknown today and is being sought by many researchers. However, not only the physical location of this chest, but also what is hidden inside is a matter of great curiosity. So what makes this ark so important, and what is hidden inside? Was the Ark of the Covenant really magical? This mysterious story is based on the Torah. According to the belief, the prophet Moses and the Jews coming out of Egypt camped at the foot of Mount Sinai. God commands Moses to build a chest covered in gold and decorated with the figures of two angels. Moses fulfills this divine command and builds the Holy Ark. This ark becomes for the Jews not only an object, but the most sacred symbol. After the construction of the ark, it traveled with the Jews on many journeys in the desert for 40 years. Finally, when the Jews reached a settlement, they placed the ark in a special room in a sacred tent called the Mishkan. Later, when the Jews, led by Joshua, arrived in the land God had promised them, they signaled their arrival by taking the ark ahead of them. When the ark reached the side of the Jordan River, the water that should have stopped the crossing of the river miraculously dried up, and the priests carrying the ark did not cross, but simply waited. When the people crossed the river and reached the other side, the ark also crossed, and when the river flowed again and returned to its normal flow, the ark crossed the river. The Ark of the Covenant had once passed to the Philistines, whom the Jews had defeated in battle. However, after the Philistines took possession of it, a series of troubles befell them, and they had to send it back. This return took place before the battle of the children of Israel against the army of Goliath, led by Talut. This event was regarded as a divine endorsement of Talut's leadership, and the return of the ark was recognized as one of the turning points in the fate of the Israelites. In time, the Ark of the Covenant was placed by the prophet Solomon in the Great Temple in Jerusalem, also known as the Temple of Solomon. However, in 587 BC, Jerusalem was invaded by the Babylonian army, the Temple of Solomon was sacked, and the Jews were sent into exile. The fate of the Ark of the Covenant has remained a dark secret ever since. This is how one of the greatest mysteries of human history begins. The mysterious Ark of the Covenant is a secret that has even found its way into the Quran. In the 248th verse of Surat al-Baqarah, it is said, "Their prophet said to them, 'The sign of his reign is the coming to you of the Ark of the Covenant, in which there is a sign from your Lord, a remnant of what the families of Moses and Aaron left behind, carried by angels.'" In this verse, important clues are given as to what is inside the Ark. The 10 Commandments written on 2 tablets, a scepter belonging to the prophet Aaron, and a vessel of power. The frightening thing about this ark is that ancient texts tell us that those who touched it somehow died or contracted a disease. For this reason, God told Moses that only Levi, the descendants of Kohat, could carry the Ark of the Covenant, and that they had to do it in special clothes. According to the texts, only the Levites were taught this information, and the rest learnt that touching the ark caused either fatal diseases or death. At this point, a surprising and scientific debate emerges. Was the Ark of the Covenant, one of the magic objects of history, really magic? Get ready, because the Ark of the Covenant may not have religious power, spiritual or metaphysical influence. Put all that aside. But there is something interesting. Gold is one of the best conductors of electricity, and the Ark of the Covenant was made of gold. In addition, the Torah commands that arms of acacia wood be made to carry the ark, and it describes in detail how the bearers are to be dressed. However, wood is not a conductive material. This means that under the sun in the desert heat, such an ark would be subjected to an electrical charge. This is a law of nature. Moreover, since the chest is carried by arms made of acacia wood, if it is unable to discharge the electricity, anyone touching the chest could be electrocuted to death when unprotected. This is a common reality in our daily lives. In short, the Ark of the Covenant must have been designed by someone who consciously realized that it would be charged with electricity. Also, whoever this person may be, he must know that the arms used to carry the Ark of the Covenant, wood arms, are not conductive, so that an electric charge will accumulate in the Ark, and those who touch it uncontrollably will receive a sudden shock. However, if this chest is charged with too much electricity, it will obviously emit sparks, resulting in a much brighter appearance than usual. Imagine how the people of antiquity would have felt and how surprised they would have been by such a sight. And again, the gold chest charged with such static electricity will act as a lightning rod, that is, it will attract lightning on itself. We should not be surprised that this visual feast has a great effect on people and that they regard the chest as sacred. In many ancient descriptions and texts, it is described that the Ark of the Covenant attracted lightning, that those who touched it died, and that those who were around it for a long time and wore unprotected clothing became ill. Then, a question at least as interesting as the Ark of the Covenant comes to mind. Who would have known 3,000 years ago that gold attracted such an electric charge, and who would have known the methods of using it? Let us examine this point. The Israelites built the Ark of the Covenant when they left Egypt. The Egyptians, a civilization that had been in Egypt for many years and considered gold sacred, may have discovered the flowing power of gold and used this knowledge in their religious rituals. The maker of the Ark of the Covenant was probably influenced by this Egyptian knowledge because the design and use of the Ark was based on a considerable body of knowledge. When we look at ancient Egyptian hieroglyphs, we see chests similar to the sacred Ark of the Covenant, which shows that the gold chest culture existed in ancient Egypt. However, the Ark of the Covenant is considered the most sacred commodity for the Israelites, and its discovery would be a great discovery for all religions. However, there are many theories and speculations as to where the Ark is and why it has never been found. After the Babylonians invaded Jerusalem in 587 BC and sacked Solomon's temple, the Ark of the Covenant was lost. However, it is unlikely that the Jews would have lost such a sacred object, for if it had fallen into the hands of the Babylonians, this would certainly have been recorded in Jewish texts. However, there has been no trace of the Ark of the Covenant for 2,500 years. One of the claims about its hiding place is that it was hidden in the underground tunnels of Jerusalem. It is known that the city of Jerusalem, especially the Temple of Solomon, is covered with 6 large tunnels. Throughout history, from the Knights Templar to the Muslim rulers, even the Muslim rulers traced him here, but no one could find him. Another claim is that the Ark of the Covenant may have been hidden in Ethiopia, and this claim is linked to the story of Belkis, Queen of Sheba, which is mentioned in the Torah, the Bible, and the Quran. According to ancient texts, Belkis was an Ethiopian queen who had an affair with the prophet Solomon. When she grew up, she was summoned to Jerusalem by Solomon and is said to have swapped the true Ark of the Covenant for a false one, bringing the original to Ethiopia. Tanakrikos Island in Ethiopia is inhabited by vowed Christian monks who hardly interact with the outside world. On this island, a small number of monks, once they have taken their vows, never leave the confines of the church and lead a traditional life. It is alleged that on this island the Ark of the Covenant was hidden for a long time and then secretly preserved in another church. The Ethiopian Christian community is so convinced of this story that a symbolic copy of the Ark of the Covenant is kept in every church. Another claim is that the Ark of the Covenant may have been hidden in the city of Antioch. Antioch is a city in what is now Turkey and is frequently mentioned in the Bible. Antioch is known as a gateway between Jerusalem and Anatolia and was an important center frequently visited by the disciples of Jesus. In some Islamic sources, it is rumored that the Ark of the Covenant was to be taken from here. But similarly, there are rumors that it will be taken from the bottom of Lake Tabalaya near Israel. In short, we have no clear information, and if we did, the Ark would already have been found. If it is found, it is difficult to say for sure whether what will come out of it will surprise humanity. But we are sure that it will be one of the most important archaeological discoveries in history. At the very least, a mythological narrative will have become a reality, and it will contain the first version of the 10 Commandments engraved on stone tablets, as well as personal belongings of the prophets Moses and Aaron. It is unclear what these items are, or whether they are still inside. But this will be the most exciting discovery. Who knows, maybe the Ark of the Covenant is under our feet. You can subscribe to my channel for more content.